So we're really thinking, warming up our shoulders. And I'll do this until I see that. Yep, we're good. So let's get some circling happening. Your head goes down and your head goes up. We'll do 2 more like this before we make it a bigger movement. Now, as our hands go down, we stand up. We look, our arms are up, and we sit down. We up and down. So we inhale up and exhale down. Just breathing. All the breathing, all the time. That's the important thing. So we've done a bit of circling our arms and moving our legs. Let's now sit down for a second. Think left leg. Let's have left leg bent, right leg straight. And now we're going to just circle that right arm. Circle and move. Forward like this, just checking in with those shoulders. So you're listening for smoothness and fluidity and staying in that range. And now we're going to stand up, really using that left leg, standing up and circling, coming down. Up and down. This doesn't matter if that's straight or bent, because really we're just really warming up our left leg. Feeling lots of blood racing through all of our big muscles and opening that chest. That feels like about 8. So let's now do the other side. So first we don't stand up yet. We just do 4 or so circles here. And if you wanted to, you could stay here. But I'm hoping you're going to come and stand up and circle and sit down. So this right leg is really the one that's doing more work. About 8 of these, but I never really count, so it's always approximate. Really thinking fluidity, flow, smoothness. If there are any restrictions in the shoulder, let's make it a much smaller movement. Last one like this. Then we need to think about side bending. So let's have our feet apart. And we'll side bend over to the left. And we'll stay here. 4 pushes to the left. That was more than 4, but that's fine. And we'll come this way. Just breathing into these top lungs. Okay, now we turn that into a stand as well. So we're going to bend, push, bend. So it's a wider squat. Side bending and down. Really thinking of opening this side of our body, because we don't do this movement in everyday life. So we'll just make sure it happens today. Now that feels like we should do maybe 2 more. There we go. How lightly can you touch your seat? Let's go the other way. So up and down at the front of your chair. Feels like we should do about 3 more. Okay, now we stop there. You stay where you are. Now what we're doing is with our arms, we're going to circle our arms around twice. Circle them back twice. Circle forwards twice. Circle backwards twice. Okay, actually you might not be able to see me very well from the side. Take my top off. So that circle forward is now going to be a curl forward. So we circle once, we circle twice. We come up again, we circle once, we circle twice and look at the ceiling. So we go once, so we curl down, twice, we don't go all the way over, arms as high as they go, coming back up and up. Circling down and coming back up. Breathing as we go, breathing out as we go down, breathing in as we come up. Down and up. 2 more, down and up. 1 more, down and up. Lovely. So now, hopefully your shoulders are feeling great. So let's just take 20 seconds to just notice your body now and how you're feeling after just that little bit of movement. We only did about 5 minutes of movement. How's that feeling? Because it may be during the day you only need 5 minutes to just wave your arms about, stand up and down, and you'll just feel better. You might not even need to do the rest of the class. It might be all you need to feel good and ready to move. But that's not the rest of our class. So let's get lunging and squatting a little bit. So our lunge, you're going to need your chair because we're going to take 2 steps in front of the chair and put your leg on the chair. So just get so that you're going to be able to. Here's the tricky bit. Jump that front leg forward. So when you bend the knee doesn't go very far over the toes. You can go a little way, that's fine. And we'll just do that 4 times. Thinking headlights on your hips pointing forwards. Okay, so we're bending and straightening. Now what we need to be doing is curling forward as we bend and opening up as we straighten. So we're leaning back and getting some length in that thigh. Curling forward and rounding. So our back gets a bit of rounding and now it gets extension. Explore this in your own time and just make sure that you're breathing. And if this is not working, it is working for you. But if it wasn't working for you, you can take the leg off the chair and you could just be doing it with the foot on the floor. Okay, that's about 8 of those. We're now going to make it a little trickier. Okay, a little trickier. We're now going to explore some side bending. We stay bent, side bend, come up. Bend, side bend, come up again. Side bending, and up. This is trickier on your balance. So go slowly and carefully. Breathing. The breath is the most important thing. The fact that you breathe fully is the most important thing. Okay, so now we've done that and you're managing that well. And only because you're managing well do we do the next thing. We're going to curl forward. Then we're going to side bend. Then we're going to extend back. Side bend, curl forward. If that's feeling too intense on your back, you just get off the chair and you're just doing it without the chair. Okay? So it's just a circling movement while strengthening our legs. Let's go the other way. And it's also up to you whether you straighten or not to make it that little bit easier. So that changes things as well. If you straighten that front leg, that makes a lovely stretch in the back. But it's entirely up to you. We're doing 1 more. And that's some lovely spine circles and movement on that side. So let's now we're going to do something fun. So stay there. Well, we don't have to stay there, but what we're doing is we're now having a little pause, taking both knees up on our chair or our sofa. Hands are down on the floor. Have a go. Once you're here, you're then going to bend your arms and let the top of your head come to close to the floor, but not touch the floor. And just explore pushing yourself up and down from this position. Just giving you a little break before we do the other leg. So we'll do about 8 of these, so that's a good number. Okay, it feels like we should do about 2 more. Now here's the fun bit. We're curling up to sit, making sure that we're nice and stable and safe on our chair. Have a little breather, let the head come back to our body, the blood come back to our body. And now we're swapping legs. So we're doing the other leg. So I had left my left leg in front, so now I'm going to put my right leg in front. And we walk a few steps in front of the chair. We let the other leg come back. And we're just bending the front leg and straightening that front leg. Trying to let our hips go across. The headlight's pointing fairly straight. It's not actually going to be exactly both hips straight, but approximately is what we're aiming for. Okay, now we start curling forward and reaching and opening backwards. It's not a big, doesn't need to be big, and we can really think of our sternum looking at the ceiling, so we're not hinging into that lower back. Straight front leg, chest to ceiling. And breathing, remember to breathe. Now that feels like we've done about 8. I really should count. Maybe I'll count our next set, because now we're doing our side bend. So we bend the leg and we side bend. We breathe in, we come up. We bend and we side bend. So that's 1. Hooray, I'm counting. And 2. But 8 will feel like way too many of these. So we'll just do 4 of these. And 3. And 4. Okay, so now because you're both able to do that without overbalancing, I know that we can do a circle. If the circle doesn't feel right, take the leg off the chair. So my circle, I'm keeping that front leg bent, open, side, forward, side, open, side, forward, but you can also give that leg a break, side, open, straighten the front leg, bend back into the front movement again. Let's do 2 more this way. And then we're going the other way. It's really lovely movement, guys. How smooth can you go? Okay, that feels like enough. So let's now get back in our chair for some more of those lovely push-ups. So what we do is we have one leg on, we let the other leg come on, and we sit. So we're kneeling. Then we just lower ourselves really carefully. One hand to the floor, the other hand to the floor. And before we curl over, we're going to reach our arms as far as we can and sit our bottom back. And breathe here. Let your shoulder blades wrap around the ribs. They're coming out around the ribs. And then you can walk the hands in. Ready to just stand to the top of your head. The crown of your head is going down to the floor as you bend your elbows. It's not going all the way down, just a little way